ज्ञानतिवृन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य तन्मयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 6, beginning from verse number 6. So this is a description after the sacrifice of Daksha was destroyed by the associates of Lord Shiva, and after burning the whole place they went back to Kailash. Then all the devas, the gods, the sages, the priests who had been beaten up by them, they all assembled and went to Lord Brahma and complained to him what has happened.
The survivors.
Yes, the survivors. So they were expecting that they will get some relief by complaining, because they thought that this is a great injustice which has been done to them. They were engaged in the worship of the Lord, and these people, these ghostly beings, they came and defiled the whole area. They passed urine in the sacrificial area and they beat up everybody around. So they complained to Lord Brahma. And as we read yesterday, Lord Brahma, he already knew what was the reason for this. As people go to complain to somebody and ask for help, but they don't tell their own mistake. And what was the reason? After all, these people did not come without any cause. Whenever there is fight, then there is reason from both sides. So Brahma, of course, he already knew, and he told them that you had offended Shiva unnecessarily. there was no reason to abuse him, offend him. And then Sati came, the wife of Lord Shiva, to the sacrifice. Then nobody received her, not even kind words given to her. And she also saw that Lord Shiva did not get any place of honor in the sacrifice which she deserved. So then she gave up her life. She burnt her body by yogic power. And Daksha, who is the father of Sati, he kept on looking but did not stop her. So then Lord Shiva obviously got very angry and sent his associates to destroy her. So he says that this is your mistake, and if you offend this powerful person like Shiva, then what do you expect? So this incident spiritually is very important instruction, because on the path of devotion, on the path of bhakti yoga, offense to the Lord is the biggest obstacle. Otherwise bhakti is a very easy process, because Lord has His name, His form, His abode, His dham, Vrindavan, and these are all transcendental places. They are actually not part of the material world. Harinam Sankirtan Golokera Premadhan. Srimad Dasa Thakur says that this Harinam is not belonging to the material world. It belongs to Goloka. But we don't realize this fact, and that is because of our consciousness being covered by offenses. So on bhakti we have to learn how to become free from the offense and which have been done in the past, and not to commit in future. So that is one very important part of devotion. This is what has to be studied. So this story is one such story which explains that if you offend a devotee, then what happens? Because this is the first offense against the holy name, Satam Ninda. So then we saw the outcome that Daksha, he was killed because of this offense. And all his associates who have not directly offended Shiva, but because they were supporting him, they were with him, they also got the reaction. So this is the defect of association, bad association. Now he is giving them a solution. In the verse number 5, Lord Brahma said, Athapi yuyam kritkil visha bhavami. That it is a fact that all of you are offenders. You are all basically criminals. The word kilbisha means a wrong act. So you deserve to be punished. Usually for offense there is no atonement. In Smriti Shastra there is a description of sins and atonements. That if you commit some sinful act, then you can perform an atonement for that, and then you become free from that sin. But for offense there is no atonement. This is another problematic situation with the offense, that if one commits an offense, then there is no description in the Shastra that you fast like this, you do like this, then you will become free from the offense. You have to get the reaction. Or if the offense is performed to a person, then you go and ask for forgiveness to that person. And if that person forgives, then you are redeemed from it. We also read that Shiva himself was not upset, although he was insulted, but it was said that the dust from the feet of Shiva will not tolerate the offense. Elsewhere, our Acharyas have written that even if the Vaishnava does not become upset by the offense or improper behavior by someone, Bhakti Devi herself does not forgive such a person. So we should also not think that just because somebody is very tolerant, then he go on offending, because this person will not retaliate and he will not become angry. So still offense can manifest, because Bhakti is also a person. Bhakti is not some process like Jnana Marg or Karma Marg. They are the processes. They are not living beings. Bhakti is a living being, the personality, and she herself becomes displeased. So therefore, in Bhakti we have to learn not to disregard the devotees of the Lord. If one does that, then one is creating problem for oneself. So therefore Brahma said that Yuyam Krita Kilvisa, that you have all committed offense. Bhavam ye barhiso bhaga bhajam parado. What is the offense? Number one, that he was abused by unkind words. Number two, when Satya came, she was not received properly, and when she tried to burn herself by yogic power, then no one stopped her. So that is also offense. And number three, that Shiva was not given place in the sacrifice which he is supposed to be given. So therefore he said that the only way now is that you prasadedvam parishuddha chet, that you go and pacify him, mollify Lord Shiva, go and catch his feet, and Chipram prasadam pragrahitam gripadam, he will be pleased easily because he is Ashutosh. But it has to be done with sincerity. So if you sincerely ask forgiveness to God, then He will forgive, because He knows the heart. As Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commented in this verse, that Brahma knew the heart of Lord Shiva. Therefore He is giving them a solution, that you do like this. Otherwise, how do I know that what is going to please someone who is offended? If you are offended by somebody, then how do I know what will please you? So Brahma, he knew what will be pleasing to Lord Shiva, or how can he please Shiva. Therefore, he told them that you go and you fall at the feet of Shiva, and then you will be redeemed from this wrong act. So this is what he is continuing now. He says, Ashashana jivitamadvarasya lokah sapalah kuktena yasmin tamasu devam priyaya vihinam chamapayadvam hridi viddham duruktaihi. So he says that if you want to revive this sacrifice, because they are performing a sacrifice, and to leave this in between, that is also a problematic situation. So he says, Jivitam advarasya ashashana, then you go and you beg him. Lokaha sapalaha kupitena yasmin. If Lord Shiva becomes angry, then there cannot be peace for anybody, even if they are powerful people. So tamasu devam priyaya vihinam shamapayadham. So he says you go and ask for forgiveness to that Lord Shiva, who is now devoid of his wife, and hriday viddham duruktai, and his heart is pierced by the sharp words of Dasa. So first of all, he lost his wife, who was very dear to him. As it was said that Lord Shiva, his form is called Ardhanarishwar. He has a form where half side is Shiva and half side is Parvati, or his wife Sati. because he loves his wife so much that he has given half of his body to her. So it is actually 2 in 1. These days you get products 2 in 1, 3 in 1. So Lord Shiva is 2 in 1. He is half his wife and half himself. So it's like you have killed half of him. Killing his wife is equal to cutting Shiva in 2 pieces. That's what it means. So he says that he is priyaya vihinam. It's like people when they love somebody, then they say that you are my heart. So if you love someone and that person is murdered by somebody, then how you feel? You have lost your heart. So Shiva was feeling like that he is without his sweetheart. Priya means sweetheart or beloved. And not only that, he was also insulted by sharp abusive words. So vidham duruktai. Vidham. So he says that he is wounded in his heart and he has lost his wife. So you go and try to pacify him. So Sri Vishnu says that yasmin kupite sati sapala eva loko na bhavet tam kshamapayantu. That if he becomes angry, then nobody can survive. And yuyam advarasya jivitam prarthayamana. So therefore, if you want that this sacrifice is completed, then you go to him and beg forgiveness. Naham yagyo na chayu yamanye yedeha bhajo muniyasya tattvam viduhu pramanam balavirya yorva yasyatma tantrasya kaupayam vidhitset. He says that no one actually knows the strength or power of Lord Shiva. Because Shiva is not an ordinary person. Says that I myself, and yagya is the word which is used here for Indra. Yagya although means Vishnu, but when this story happened at that time, Vishnu has taken the post of Indra. So therefore he says that I or Yagya and all of you and all embodied beings and the sages, nobody knows the tattva of Lord Shiva. So tattvam na vidu. Lord Shiva is a very mysterious person. He looks externally that as if he is just some beggar, because he is dressed in a very strange manner. He's got these snakes around him, matted hair, and he wears elephant skin around his waist, and he's meditating. And if he's not concerned with anything. So what exactly is he, what is his power, this is not known to people. It says Brahma is supposed to be the father of Shiva, because Lord Shiva was born from the forehead of Brahma. Tomorrow is Shiv Chaturdasi, supposed to be his appearance day. So when Kumaras were the first sons of Brahma in the beginning of creation, these 4 brothers, and when Brahma asked them to produce children, they refused because they didn't want to get married. They know the trouble of marriage. So they wanted to stay single. These days people don't like to marry, right? They want to stay single. So the first born were also like that. This fashion of single is coming from the very beginning of creation. So the Kumaras, they refused to marry. When they refused to marry, then Brahma, who was their father, who is their father, he became angry. If the father is telling something to the son and son is not listening, then father gets angry. So when Brahma became angry, then one child came out from in between his eyebrows, and that is Shiva. And then Shiva asked him that, what do you want me to do? So Lord Brahma said, you create. First he said, what is my name? Give me a name. First there is name giving ceremony when a child is born. So Shiva himself was asking, give me a name. So he said, you will be called Rudra. And then he said, what do you want me to do? So he said, you create. So he created. But his creation was not very pleasing. He was creating ghosts. Ghostly beings, hobgoblins, bhoot, pishach, various types of ghosts are there. So he started creating them. So then Brahma said, okay, please stop. I don't want that you do this, enough that you have created. So then he stopped him. So he says that Lord Shiva, Balvirya, his strength, his prowess is not known to anybody. So yasya atmatantrasya kaupayam viditshet. So he is atmatantra, he is independent. He is not under anybody's control. He is one of the Trinity, one of the avatars, 3 avatars. So he says that you have to find a means to please him. But how to please him? We don't know. The only thing we can do is ask for his forgiveness. Because if somebody is so powerful, then it is also a problem if such a person gets angry. If some powerful person gets angry, then it's very difficult to please. If some small guy gets angry, then you give him some treatment, some food, some gift, right? Some child gets angry, give him a chocolate, and he's happy. Or some toy. Some person gets angry, give him a gift, and they are pleased. But what can you give to Shiva? If you have to give him, what will you give? He is sitting in the cremation ground with ashes smeared on his body. He doesn't need anything. He himself is so powerful that he can create things, he can destroy the whole world. So he says the only thing you can do is that you just ask him to forgive. So nanu tvameva vayam prapanna atas tvameva kamapi upayam vidhitsva iti tatraha. So Devas are saying that we have come to you, O Lord Brahma, we are surrendered to you. So you please tell us some means how to please him. So then Brahma says that I don't know. He says, I naham brahmapi na yagya idanintana indropi na chayuyam yagika ved vidopi yasya tattvam balvirya pramanam vittam cha na vidu. So he says, nobody knows, I don't know, you don't know, Devas, Indra, we have no idea of his power and his position and how to please him. So what can be done? Saithamadisya surajanastaihi samanvitah pitribhi saprajeshaihi yayau swadhushanyat nilayam puradvishaha kailasamadri pravaram priyam prabhu. So after speaking to them in this way, then Brahma, what he did, that along with everybody else, he decided to go to the abode of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva lives on the mountain called Kailas. So this is in the Himalayas. So he told them that we all go there. Because if you don't give him share in the sacrifice, he has nothing to lose. He is perfect being. But it is your loss, because all of you people are going to starve now. Because these devas, these demigods, they get their power when people perform sacrifice. So deva stutya vardhante. They get their tonic when you pour obeisance into the fire. So that's why we read that the demons, demoniac people, they always want to stop the sacrifices. When the devas become weak, then they can take over. So this is their power. Now sacrifice is destroyed. So where will they get their food? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says, Sahayagya purasrashtva purovacha prajapati anena prasvadhyamyose vastu ishta kamaduk. That Lord, in the beginning of creation, He created living beings along with sacrifice, yajna. And He said that you perform this yajna and get your desires fulfilled. Deva bhavetanena te deva bhaveyantu va parasparam bhaveyantaha Shreya param avapsyate. That you please the devas by doing the sacrifice, and they will please you, and this way by mutual service you will be happy. So sacrifice gives strength to the devas, but now there is no sacrifice. So therefore he is saying that let's go to Shiva and ask him. This is for your good. So in the upcoming verses there is a description of this mountain Kailas. This is a description of fauna and flora of Kailas mountain. What type of trees, birds, flowers, fruits which exist there. This is being described. जन्मौषधि तपो मंत्र योग सिद्धि नरे तरैहि जुष्टं किन्नर गंधर्वै अप्सरोभिर्वृतं सदा. So Kailas Parvat this mountain is being described in 14 verses. The people who are living there, they are perfected beings. Perfected beings means they have performed practice of some spiritual path and attained success in that. So there are various ways one get perfection. Some people are born perfect. Somebody is smoking here or what?
There is a smell. I'm going to check.
You see this guy?
Yeah, there's a smell.
So Janma, Ausadhi, Tapa, Mantra, Yoga. These are various ways one attains perfection. Number one, this is also described in the Yoga Sutra by Patanjali. Some people are born perfect, like Kumaras. They were perfect by very birth, or Sukdev Goswami. He did not do any austerity or tapasya or chanting. By birth he was perfect. Then Ausadhi. There are also certain herbs. If you take those herbs, then you go into samadhi. Right? These days they get some pills. Right? And they take the pill, then what happens? They go in trance. Yes? Some people eat mushrooms. And by eating mushroom they go into trance. So this is called Aushadhi perfection. Patanjali says that in Himalayas previously there were some herbs like that. Now I think people use them too much, so they got lost and they did not plant them. So there were some herbs, if you take them, then you can go into samadhi. Many people think that if you take this bhang, then you go in samadhi, especially the followers of Shiva. And then tapa. Tapa means penances, you perform some penances. And mantra is known by chanting mantra. You get perfected being. And yoga, meditation. So these are the 5 means by which you can attain perfection. So on Kailash mountain, there are people who are coming from these 5 different processes. So therefore it is said Janma, Aushadhi, Tapo, Mantra, Yoga, Siddhai. These 5 types of people, they live there. And there are other beings, Kinnar, Gandharva, Apsarabhir, Vritam, Sada. There are types of, you have seen some type of people that their lower body is like a horse and upper is like a human being. So what are they called?
Centaur.
Centaur. And in Sanskrit they are called Kinnara. Kinnara. So Kinnara means Kimnara. Says what kind of human being is this? Kinnara. And by Sandhi it becomes Kinnara, right? How Kim plus Nara will become Kinnara? You know? Which rule will apply? So Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jana and Harivenu Rava. So then it becomes Kinnara. And then there are Gandharvas. There is one class of beings, they are called Gandharva. They are very good in singing. They are musicians by birth. They have very sweet voice and they sing very melodious. And then there are Apsaras. Apsaras are beautiful women who are very good at dancing. So they are beautiful dancers. They also live on Kailash mountain with Lord Shiva. So they are musicians, singers, dancers and kinnaras. They also play some music. These kinnaras, they play instruments.
They're also perfected.
Yeah, they are not perfected beings. They are not counted among perfected beings. They're just a species of beings. It's like there are various species of life here on earth. There are various species of life on upper planetary system. Earth is not the only place where life exists. There is life on all these planets, but it is different types. They have subtle type of bodies. We have gross bodies, visible. Their bodies are subtle. They are not visible to our eyes. So these days there is a lot of research about aliens, right? Especially in America. There is a lot of talk about alien beings.
If they're subtle bodies, do they still have Purushas?
They have what?
Do they have like Purushas, Jivas?
Yeah. Subtle body cannot live without a Purusha. Otherwise it's only matter.
Somebody's driving outside the area full of smoke.
So this was the description of the people on Kailash mountain. It will be good to go there sometime.
Yeah.
Right? We should plan next trip to Kailash. But for that, first you get good health. So get all your treatment. Because it's very high in the mountains and cold. And people do live there. It's not that it's just a fake description. Actually, people living there.
How much height?
How much high? It's not this much.
2,600, 3,000.
No.
No,
It's
it's
like 4,000.
more than 4,000 or 5,000.
Wow.
Because this Kailash which you see is one Kailash, and there is Kailash which you don't see. He's talking about that. There is a visible Kailash and invisible Kailash. It's like you have Vrindavan here. There is a visible Vrindavan, and then there is an invisible Vrindavan, which is also described. You can read in Gopal Champu and books like that. So like that, there is a visible Kailash which you can go by, walk, and there is invisible which you can only see if you are a yogi. Otherwise you cannot see it. Then you will see what is being described, because one who is describing is a yogi. So Nana Manimaya Shringai, Nana Dhatu Vichitritai, Nana Drimlata Gulmai, Nana Mrigagana Avritai. So there are various types of gems there. You will not see. You will only see stones and maybe snow, ice. But there are various types of gems. If you see them, you will obviously take and bring down, therefore you cannot see. And there it has many beautiful peaks, and these peaks of the mountains are made of gems. And Nana Dhatu Vichitritai, and there are beautiful paintings, scenery there. Wonderful. And Nana Dhumlata, there are various types of trees and creepers. And in creeper there are two types of creepers. There are creepers which grow only on the ground, like you have pumpkin or cantaloupe creepers. They are just creeping on the ground. That's why they are called creepers. They are creeps who creep on the ground. Right? And then there are creepers. In Sanskrit there are different names for both. There are creepers which go on a tree. Right? So in Sanskrit they are called Lata and Gulma. Two separate names. In English I think we only call both as creepers. And Nana Mriga Gana Avritai, and there are various types of birds, animals. And now he will describe them. Nana Malaprasravanahi, Nana Kandara Sanubhihi, Ramanam Viharantinam, Ramanai Siddhayoshitam. There are various streams of water which are very clean and pure. If you drink this water, then you get rejuvenated. It's like tonic. Now there was news yesterday that by 2040 science will figure out genes which will replicate our genes, then we will not die. So there this water exists, that if you drink this water, then your genes get rejuvenated. Then you live. That's why they are called Amar. They don't die. And there are very nice caves there, Kandara. So you don't have to build a house. It's a big hassle to build a house. So there are ready-made caves. So you go inside a cave, you can live there. And then inside the cave is dark. So these gems, they act like the electric bulbs. They give light. So you have a gem, and if you want to make it dark, then you cover it with a cloth. And you want light, then you remove it. So you don't have to pay the bill. And it is 24-hour supply. And Ramanam Viharanti Nam Ramanai Siddhayositam. So what is the use of all these caves and mountains and streams? He says that the wives of these people who are living there, they are enjoying there. It's like people go on picnic, right? When people go to picnic, usually they go to some water source, go to lake, go to the ocean or a river, right? These are the picnic places. Garda Lake in Italy, or Badenze Lake in Germany. People come there for picnic. So here also there are various lakes and caves, and these beautiful women, they are enjoying. Then he describes the birds there. Mayur keka bhirutam madandhalibhi vimurchitam plavitai raktakanthanam kujitaisya patatrinam. Says that there is a very beautiful sound there of the peacocks. You heard how peacock? Nice. So Mayur Keka Bhirutam, the sound of the peacocks. And then there are these bumblebees, these big bees. They are also singing their song because they are drinking the nectar from the flowers and they are intoxicated. And they are singing song. So Madandhali Vimurchitam Plavitai Raktakanthanam. And then there are these birds which have this red neck. They are also making beautiful sound. And Kujitaisya Patatrinam. So various types of birds which are making beautiful sound in that place. Avyantam ivo dhastair dvijan kam dughai drumai vrajantam iva matangai granantam iva nirjanai. There are trees there which are called kalpavriksha trees. These trees are that if you go under the tree and you ask anything, the tree will give you. So you may have heard the story that there was one man. He happened to be under this tree. He was a traveler walking. Then he got tired, he sat under this tree. And he said, "Oh, I wish if there was a nice cake here." And as he thought, immediately the cake came. So he was very surprised. So he ate the cake. And he said, "Oh, I wish if there was a Pepsi." Then suddenly the Pepsi came. So he is drinking. And he says, "Oh, I wish if there was a nice bed to sleep." He was tired, so he slept. And then when he was lying down, he thought, "Oh, what if a tiger comes here?" Then the tiger came and finished him off. So he says that there are kalpadruma, there are these trees. Avayantame uddhartais dvijan kamadughay drumai. These are called kamadugha. That they can supply you whatever you want. And these trees have extended branches as if these are the hands of the people, as if they are raising their hand and calling that come to me, what you want. So these trees, they are like that, as if they are calling the birds. And there are big elephants. You don't see elephants on mountains in the Himalayas, but here on Kailash there are elephants, and when these elephants are walking, it looks as if the mountain is moving. And then there are streams, and streams are flowing and making the sound, which appears as if these two streams are having a dialogue, because one stream is coming from this mountain, another one from the other side, and both are making sound as if they are having a dialogue with each other. So what are the type of trees which are found here? That is described here. Mandaraihi parijataischa sarlaischa upashoghitam tamalaihi shalatalaischa kovidara sunarjunai. So there are trees of Mandara, Parijata, Sarala, Tamala, Shala tree, and Tala tree, and Kovidar, Rasan and Arjuna. These are various types of trees which exist there. So some of them I don't know their English name. Parijata is known, this gives this small white flower. Mandar gives a red flower, and this tamal tree grows here in Vrindavan, black color. And shal is, what is shal called? It's a big tree, it's very powerful wood.
Is it teak?
No, teak. Shal. And then tal is the palm tree. And Kovidar, I don't know the English name, this Arjuna tree. Arjuna tree is very good for the heart disease. In Ayurveda they make Arjuna Arista from the bark of this tree. Actually everything of this tree is very useful. Chutaihi kadambair nipaischa nagapunnaga champakaihi patala shoka buklai kundai kurva kairapi. Then there are mango trees and kadamba. This one tree gives flower round. And nipa is another variety of kadamba. And nag, this one flower, punnag. These are all trees which give very fragrant flower. Champaka. Champaka is also grows here. Gives also nice flower. We have some of these things we have in our garden here. And patal. Patal is also like a rose. And shoka bakula tree. Bakul grows in Bengal. Big tree.
Yeah.
And kunda. Kunda is a small bush. In the summer you get nice fragrant flower. And kurba kairati. Swarnamishat patraischa vararenuka jati bhi kubjakair mallika bhischa madhavi bhischa manditam. These are all names of various trees. So much variety of these fragrant trees. Swarn is golden leaves. There is another one, Satpatra, it has 100 leaves on it. And Varrenuka and Jati, another flower. And Kubjaka and Mallika another creeper, and Madhavi, another creeper. Panasa Udumbara Ashwatha Plakshanograda Hingubhi Bhurjai Raushadhi Bhi Pugai Raj Pugai Cha Jambubhi. Panas. What is panas called? Panas is this fruit.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the name again?
What is it called in English?
Panas. I don't know.
Pineapple?
Pineapple.
Panas.
And Udumbar is the fig tree. They give that nice. They come in the summertime. Very sweet. And Aswatha. Aswatha also you got small fruit, only birds eat it, but it's a big tree.
Banyan.
Aswatha is the people tree. And Plaksha is another tree. Here also it grows. And then Nyagrodha is the banyan. Nyagrodha, the big banyan tree. And Hingubhi. And Hingu is from where you got the hing. Fragrant. Used for asphytoda.
Yeah, that is resin coming on the tree.
It's the resin of a tree. And Bhurjai Asudibhi Pugai. Puga is this, like this put in the pan. And Raj Pugai and Jambu. Jambu, we have one here.
Amrut?
Jambu fruit comes small in the rainy season. Jamun. It's blue in color, and if you eat it, your tongue also becomes blue. So that is the jambu fal. And Kharjur Amrat Amrak Amradhyai Priyal Madhuka Ingudai Druma Jati Viranyesche Rajitam Venu Kichkai. Then you have Kharjur, the dates, and Amris, another variety of mango, there was another one. And then Priyal and Madhuka and Ingudai. I don't know this. So these are the various types of trees which exist there, and then there are bamboos. Venu, Kichakai. Then there are bamboos are of two types. Those which are empty from inside and those which are not. So the Kichak are those which are hollow from inside. They are called Kichak. And Venu is not hollow. And Kumada Utpala Kalhara Satpatravana Nalini Sukalam Pujat Khagavrindo Pashoditam. Then there are, these are the flowers which grow in water. Lily, lotus, and variety of lotus, Kalhar, Satpatra, and Nalini. So then various types of birds which were chirping around us. So this is all description of the Kailas, all the trees, creepers, flowers which grow there. So next he will describe about the birds and animals in the rivers. So that we will read tomorrow. There is only description, not much there. But it is good to know that all these things exist. So if you ever go to Kailas, then you will see all this.
If we are a perfect human.
But if you go there, you will become one.
On the way.
Just by going there, because he said that there are people who become perfect there by birth. So just by walking there, you will become perfect. Because this is a path of perfection. There are two types of paths. Path of perfection and path of imperfection. So if you go to Kailash, this is the path to perfection. So in the commentary, he's basically just giving the meaning of these words. There are also banana growing there
Of course.
in the cold weather. Surprising. So usually we think that what yogis will eat in this mountain, but you get all types of fruits and flowers, and vegetables are not mentioned, zucchini, tomatoes, potatoes, so they all grow there. So yogis live on this vegetarian diet. And of course they have these wish-fulfilling trees. So if they ever have the desire for pasta, pizza, they have to just ask the tree and the tree gives. So you will not miss anything there.
So this invisible Kailash is just like Shiva Loka, same.
Yes. And this Kailash is the Shivaloka.
Babaji, I have a question about the wife of Shiva Parvati is the same as Durga, or is the
Same.
it's same, no?
Same.
Babaji? So this touching the feet of Shiva just to get he forgive, no? So then mean that his half part, Parvati, she burned herself and nobody was stopping, so it looks like a big offense because it was very dear and it's like half of himself basically. So then it just the act to
Yeah, but it's not just touching feet physically. He also said Vishuddha Chetasa.
sincerely.
You have to be pure in your heart and sincere. Means you have to say, okay, we made a mistake.
Just to recognize mistake and repent.
Anyway, his wife is not killed. It was said that she disappeared. So externally she was killed, but internally she is with him.
Yeah, because this is what I'm thinking that conditioned soul living in ignorance. Basically, we are kind of bound to make offenses because there is no.
Yeah, if we live in ignorance, then we are bound to make mistake. That's why human beings, they have the facility to acquire knowledge. So whenever anyone has any facility, with that also comes the responsibility. Right? If you are given facility, if you are a director of a company, then you are given facility. House, car, maybe servant, here if you are in India. Right? So why this facility is being given? Not that you don't go to office and you enjoy. Then you have a bigger responsibility. The idea is that you should not bother about these problems so that you can devote yourself to take care of the company. So means you actually have more responsibility than an ordinary employee who goes, works, comes home, and is not worried about the company. But as a director, they actually purchase you. They don't give you money for nothing. You have to make sure that the company runs and makes profit. So then they give you facility. So with facility comes responsibility. So human beings have the facility that we can communicate, which other animals cannot, or if they can, it's very limited. We can speak and we can articulate our thoughts to each other, we also can acquire knowledge and we can transfer knowledge from one to another. So with this also comes the burden of acquiring knowledge. If you live in ignorance, then you are going to suffer, because the law applies to you, not to animals. Animals don't have these facilities, therefore they are also not responsible. So if we live like animal, means in ignorance, then we are punishable by the law of karma. So law of karma is not applicable to animals, it's applicable only to human beings. Because human beings have intelligence to make decisions and do wrong or proper act. Animals don't have that intelligence, so therefore human beings also get implicated if they make a wrong decision and act improperly.
But can't you be reborn as an animal?
Yes,
But then how do you get out of the cycle if you don't collect karma during that lifetime?
you already have collected as a human being, so you are just enjoying your karma as a human being. If you don't act properly as a human being, then you were born as an animal to get that karma, effect of that karma. And then you go through many births as animals, then you are again made human being. Now if you don't act again properly,
Get another shot.
then again go back.
Babaji, another question. Why, for example, I feel so much close to Shiva, and I feel that Shiva, even if he is so powerful, he is, I don't know how to say it in English, is misericordioso.
Merciful.
Merciful and very lovely. So sometimes I feel Shiva as he's strong, but at the same time he's very merciful to me and very, I don't know how to say, very wonderful. I feel him too much close to me in that position. From right now I feel that he and me are very close. Why this happen? Is the name his
That is
nature?
according to one's nature, that one becomes attracted to a particular deity. Because all these gods, they have their nature, and if you have also something in common, then you naturally feel attracted to that. So, samasila bhajanti vayu. People, they worship a particular deity because they have a similar nature, samasila. So if you have the nature to get angry quickly and also become pleased quickly, then you have nature like Shiva. Then you are attracted to him. Alright. Hare Krishna.